fires, dirt that scowls. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Modes of fury racing fast. Southern Fried Racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream. Gasoline, hearts, and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track. Each corner fight, ain't turning back. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Fried Racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace. Burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern Fried Racing breed. Southern Fried Racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace. Burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern Fried Racing breed.
Yes. It's good.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the Southern Fried Racing Hour, or a little more, depending on how it goes. The official title. Hello, Dean. Hello, James.
Hello, folks.
James gets extra points for having the right hat on. George, all the way, baby.
There you go.
James without a hat.
Don't forget
We're
about
here,
our
Dean.
I forgot
I'm
it.
sure you have like 12 NASCAR hats.
I got my shirt on.
There you go. That's a nice shirt.
He does
Is that a
have
Ross
shirt on.
Chastain shirt?
No,
Okay.
no.
Ross Chastain. We're going to be talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
What a weekend. I hope everybody was able to honor troops in some way, especially those who have laid down their lives for the freedom of America. And pray for those Gold Star families. Very moving. I watched one podcast I watched over the weekend was at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. That's always very, very moving.
It is.
But saw a lot of really touching scenes and stories, and so they did a nice job at the race honoring those things. I love the fact that they called out the soldiers' names. I know you can't get everybody, but the fact they had different drivers and people,
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool.
It was cool.
It's just a blessing to be. It's a blessing to be free. It's a blessing to be an American, and we get to enjoy sports,
Right.
which is it's not a necessity, but it sure is fun, and it's great. These people lay down their lives so we can play, and
That's right.
that's the great thing about America, and this is the crown jewel of racing. It's a big deal, and it didn't fail to deliver. It delivered in a lot of ways, and I'm anxious to see kind of where we go with this. We'll kind of go, but how you doing, guys?
I'm doing
Dean,
good.
how you doing?
Great.
Going good? You enjoy the race?
Oh, yes.
James, did you get to watch? Did you get to watch the race?
Yeah, I watched it. It was a good race, good competitive race.
It was a very good and competitive race.
Yes.
We're going to break down and talk about that. We'll kick off first off with some video, as we always do, and these are just some selected ones that let me find my spot. These are just some selected ones that I picked out. I thought they were pretty cool. They're not real long, but it gives you a little bit of a flavor of kind of what was going on over the weekend if you didn't get to watch. And if you did, then it kind of, if you're a Byron fan, you probably don't want to watch. So, We'll talk about that too, but here we go.
Saw Rick Hendrick, race shop 2 miles away. Hendrick Motorsports has won the Coke 600 12 times, the most of anybody. William Byron trying to hang on, 15 to go, and here comes Chastain in the one.
Oh, he followed him right into the corner, had to back off, but here comes the run in the one car. He backs up right there. Chastain can't quite capitalize though, but he's right there. Wow, he's got a shot.
Denny Hamlin is there, and here comes Chastain.
Chastain to the inside.
Ross
It's a flat
Chastain
job.
drives down low, slides up high. Is there room?
Oh, the 24
Ross
is in the wall.
Chastain to the lead.
Unbelievable. And the lap traffic is what?
Time. How about it? From the back to the front, Ross Chastain wins the Coca-Cola 600.
His potential is, and if his car's there or not.
Ross Chastain, man, we know what a weekend it's been for him. Marty talked pre-race about the overnight festivities, getting that one car ready to back up after crashing fast yesterday in practice, but from the back to the top 10 at the end of stage 2, impressive for the Florida native.
Your way back, and it looked like things were finally going your way when that caution happened. Yeah, it was, finally got.
William Byron wins it. Hamlin second. Hocevar third. Reddick continues in the top 5. Chastain ends up 5th. Allmendinger, Bell, Elliott, Briscoe.
And I was loose when I got there, and then I got tight behind him because I slid my fronts like 3 corners in a row. And the Goodyear Eagles, they got hot. And then from there, I just had to sit there, and he kept getting tighter. And when the 11 came off, whatever was wrong with him, he was there, and the 24 got tight off of 4, and then I had a run, and Brandon McReynolds did not clear me, but I turned left right here by y'all, and I just went to the middle, like we're either crashing or we're going to win the World 600.
But
the Coke 600.
We're bringing better speed than we've ever had this year, and we're just racing better than we ever have. So I feel like our team is right where we need to be. Like I said, it hurts really bad right now, but I think long term, looking towards the playoffs and everything, I feel like our team is much stronger than we were the last couple of years.
Already told me he has plans for you guys to drink a lot of beer tonight. So what are you doing, the beer or the sleep?
Oh, definitely. We're going to postpone the sleep till tomorrow night.
When are you going to get sleep?
I don't know. We'll see what these guys got in store.
All right, a big win for Phil Surgeon, Ross Chastain, and the entire Trackhouse group. They get a crown jewel here in Charlotte.
Strong showing. We want more. We feel like we'll have a shot to win Nashville.
Well, it looks like you guys have the speed. I heard you say early on, we'll be the lights out if we get the balance fixed up. We got plenty of speed here. I heard that all day long from you guys, that you feel like you have top 15 speed every weekend, but execution, today you had enough time to recover. How do you minimize some of those mistakes we even saw today?
Yeah, you just keep hammering through them and try to understand what we need to be better, and it's all just constant refinement, Trevor.
And one last one. It may not play. Okay, and we lost James. There's some bad weather in the area, so hopefully he'll get back in here in just a second. We'll get it up on the screen.
Excuse me.
This happens sometimes. Sometimes these Wi-Fi's are not good when it's bad weather, but great race.
It was a great race.
It's obviously a long race. We talked
yeah.
about that, and a couple of news and notes. I've got I'm going to pull up the standings and the power rankings and all that in just a second, but an overview of the race as well. Crushing defeat for that. Byron should have won.
Byron, yes.
Nothing against Chastain. He went and got it. He went and took it.
Yeah, dear.
Byron made some mistakes at towards the end. Chastain, I think he could have held him off. I don't think he could have held him off for long, but I think Byron could have won that race. But he made some, and there's a controversy about the lap cars.
Yeah, yes.
Logano,
yes.
Hamlin. I know one of those was still fighting for position. They were still in the lead lap. But there was a shifting of lanes. Byron says he didn't know which way to go. He did clip the wall just a little bit. So he made some mistakes. And when he checked up on that one, and he was done. Chastain was a monster there at the end. Got to give him all the credit in the world. I wasn't expecting that. Byron dominated the whole race until the last 3, 4, 5 laps, maybe 6 laps. He just dominated that. Hey, a Brad Keselowski signing.
Yeah.
He come in, kind of shocked me, come in very strong. I really expected to see more engines blow.
I was too.
And we only seen the one. Of course, it was Reddick. It wasn't Reddick. And that was a bad blow for them. They'd been really strong. There was a number of cars that could have won that race, a whole bunch of cars that could have won that race. And, but, give Chastain credit. He's a player.
He was a player.
And he's a player for the rest of the season. We'll be looking at that. Let's pull this up really quick and look at a few things here. And we'll keep an eye out for James if he can get back in, hopefully. And looking at, and this one got a little bit, this slide got a little off. You know what? That is not the slide. Here it is. I'll pull this up before we get here. And then I brought it back down. Then I'll find it in a second. But let's talk about, Dean, let's talk about.
I got one for you. Kyle Larson. What about him?
Well, and that's where I wanted to go. And I'm going to say it right now. I've been rooting for a lot. Well, I just, as I believed he was strong to win the championship, I'm now bumping him to 2. This was a bad weekend for him.
Yes, it was.
Now, some of that was out of his control. I get it, but he wasn't up where he should have been. It's unfortunate he got clipped by that. That wreck should have never happened anyway. That was a bad wreck. There was some bad racing going on there. Trying to get 3 wide. There wasn't room for them to come up the track, clipped each other, knocked out some good contenders. But Larson didn't get it done. I mean, for all the buildup, didn't get it done. And it blows my mind that that happened like that. I just cannot believe that he come out that bad on that. He's still very strong in the standings, but here Byron again. He does not finish bad, even though he didn't win.
Right.
He won all those. He won all the stages.
Yes.
He comes in second.
Yes.
So he actually increased his standing as far as championship. And there's one more race week to go before the 32.
That's right.
He ain't got no trouble to worry about that.
That's right.
There's a couple of drivers that do have some things to worry about.
Oh yeah.
But not him. I mean, so Larson doesn't get it done, and just unbelievable. That happened. Well, we'll take a quick break. I know we just got in, but I'm going to get ready for Dean's notes, and then I'm going to find this PowerPoint that I have somewhere. And I think James is James said his screen froze. He's going to come back out, and he's out. He's going to come back in. So we'll give him a chance to do that. Let us run just a quick commercial and see if we can't get that. Little technical things, they happen.
That's right.
But let me run one from Fresh Press Farms. You know what? We're not affiliated with them. We just like them. They're Georgia based. They allowed us to come out in their fields and do some filming there. They gave us pretty much a run of the place, except for one place they're not allowed to. But we spent a lot of time down there. It was a great documentary we did with them, and we're going to be going back and catching up with these guys again. But if you like olive oil, buy some. It's Georgia raised. And so here's Fresh Press Farms. We'll be right back. Hey, this is Dave with the Southern Fried Podcast. Recently, me and Rob were able to go to Fresh Press Farms and do an interview, which we posted on all of our streams. We love these folks. They're amazing. And we are also customers of theirs. I've recently ordered my olive oil that we use in cooking to our home. We love that they're Georgia-based. We love that they're the only olive producer in the state of Georgia. And we love that they're making jobs here for Georgians in South Georgia. We want you to become a part of their family and use their products. They are the makers of homegrown cold-pressed cooking oils. Crafting oil like this means that they capture the best of the olive and the sunflower because they make that oil too. And they have other products that they have out there. It's an amazing company. They like to say freshness is never a question with Fresh Press Farms. They believe that what we put into our bodies should be minimally processed and actually improve our health and taste like the source. Locally produced and vertically integrated, they proudly grow, harvest, cold press, bottle, and distribute their oils in Georgia to ensure top-notch quality and a quick trip from Grove to Pranchy. Please go online and look up their website and order you some too. Support small business, support Georgia business, and we would appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, an amazing story there with, I'm going to move this down so we bring you back up for Dean's notes. Amazing story there of how that came to be, those farms down in South Georgia. And I'm telling you, it was a real blessing. There's a faith factor in there. The gentleman that took us out, his story, even growing up, is pretty amazing. How he got to Georgia is amazing. He's integrated into Georgia. He's a Georgia Bulldog fan, and he is also a follower of Jesus Christ. I love those folks. We run that commercial as often as we can because they're great people. All right, Dean's Notes brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Make the switch today. Promo code Cornbread. I love that. And you can't go wrong with Patriot Mobile. Dean's Notes brought to you by them, and get with a great American, Texas-based company, faith-based, and America first. Dean, what you got this week?
Okay, here's Dean's Notes. Lowe's Motor Speedway. Saturday night, the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. Friday night, the Craftsman Truck Series. Corey Heim won Friday night. Corey Heim should have laid 98 laps. Heim time 10 times this year. Ross Chastain, second for Nice Motorsports. Kyle Busch, fifth for Spire. Cup Series, Amazon Prime. The first race was Charlotte Motor Speedway, which was the Coca-Cola 600. Next was Nashville, which is this Saturday night at 7 p.m. Then Michigan on June 8th. June 15th is Mexico City at 3 p.m. June 22nd is Pocono Raceway. That's 5 races with Prime. Chase Briscoe got the pole for Sunday. Kyle Larson, second for the Coke 600. He came in second in a qualifying second. MGM 300 Xfinity Series. Taylor Gray got the pole for Saturday Xfinity Series. William Byron drove the number 17 car for Hendrick Motorsports. Chase Briscoe, number 19, in the Snacks Saturday night for Joe Gibbs. Connor Zenich in the 88 for Junior Motorsports because he was hurt at Talladega.
Right.
William Byron won the first stage Saturday night. William Byron won stage 2. William Byron won Saturday night in the Saturday race. Kyle Busch signed a 1-year contract with RCR. William Byron signed a 4-year extension with Hendrick Motorsports. Connor Zenich finished second Saturday night. That was a Friday and Saturday night race. Now the Coca-Cola 600. It was the first race on Amazon Prime. Connor Zenich he made his first Cup debut Sunday night.
Oh, what a race to do that.
Yes. He's the youngest driver in the Coke 600. And that was exciting to hear.
Yeah.
4 years in a row, Coca-Cola 600 was sold out. This is the most important race day. The Coca-Cola and the Indy 500. 2 races in one day. Now here's the 109th Indy 500. Robert Scheitzman is the youngest driver in the Indy 500 to get the pole. And he's the youngest driver to be running in the Indy 500 since 1983. The first Oscar Mayer winner mobile was held at Indy. The Slow Dog won. Helio Castroneves is 50 years old and a 4-time winner, hoping to be the 500 open to get the 5 races in a row. The Indy 500 is sold out. Kyle Larson is driving for Arrow McLaren and HendrickCars.com. Indianapolis Speedway is 2.5 miles in the brickyard. Render drinks milk and kisses the bricks.
Yeah.
Tony Rainen, backup driver for Kyle Larson in the Indy 500. If he couldn't have raced it, then Tony Canon was his name. Sorry about that. Would have drove it. Lewis Meyer drank buttermilk in 1936, winning Indy 500.
Oh, Lord.
In 1993, Formula 500 legend Emerson Ferrari drank orange juice after winning the Indy 500. He got booed for drinking orange juice.
I'd rather have the orange juice.
I had to.
I like buttermilk with cornbread. That's about it.
Hey, James, what's up?
How's it going? Sorry about the technical difficulty today.
That's
You're good,
fine.
brother. You're good.
Milk became the drink in the Indy 500 winners in 1936. Kyle Larson is out of the Indy 500, hit the wall.
Yep.
Alex Palou won the Indy 500. Now here's the Coca-Cola 600. They started in 1959. Jimmy Johnson this is his 600th start for Jimmy Johnson.
And he came in last.
Yes. I felt bad for him.
I know. I did too.
Wow.
William Byron won stage 1 and stage 2. Carl Edwards is in the Amazon Prime booth this year. Corey Joey is in the Amazon Prime booth. Dale Jr. is in the Amazon Prime booth. Steve Letarte is also there. William Byron won, like I say, stages 2 and 3. Ross Chastain won the race.
Were you a big fan of the backflip, Dean?
Yes, I was.
Corey Edwards would win.
Yes, I was.
That was pretty cool. Not everybody can do that. Let's run through a little bit. I finally figured out. I think I've got it figured out. Those things that I didn't do right. And as we look at this thing is just not wanting to work when I put it up on the stage. I don't know why. You talk about technical difficulties. I do not know why that's not working. I'll figure it out. That's one of those things. We don't give up. We just keep working it.
That's right.
But what I wanted to come back to was, how do you think Amazon Prime did on this race?
Excellent. I liked it better.
I thought, James?
On my feed, it was kind of in and out. It could have been better, I thought.
Thought it could have been better. Well, it was their first one. I thought overall, compared to what they did with the NFL, I thought they did a whole lot better. They've got a lot of experience under their belt. They got it figured out. And there was a couple of glitches. There was a couple. But the biggest complaint I have, I don't know if it's a complaint, is this booth. I don't know. It doesn't seem very strong to me at times. At times I felt like they did really good.
Right.
At times it just didn't seem too organized. I think they're still trying to figure each other out as a team, the chemistry of it. Dale Jr. was good, and then sometimes he wasn't as good. And there's an article out there where they're talking about that NASCAR has an image problem. And the image problem is that they're nothing against Dale Jr., but their stars of today are not being featured as much as the stars of yesterday.
Right.
And so if you look at that, it is a problem. I have to admit, I think for NASCAR that they have the young guns of today are not selling. They're not the ones being promoted into a lot of things. They're still going back and they're pulling up Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon, even although he has a job. That's still who they,
Right.
I mean, he's, nothing against them. They're legends, but where do you go from here? These guys have, Dale Jr.'s been away from NASCAR quite a bit in the last few years. And I think it was a fair article that maybe they've got an image problem, and that's something they're going to have to fix going forward.
You're right. They do. I saw that.
You know, back in the day, you had Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., you know, and before that, Richard Petty, and they were like the face of NASCAR. And you know, and when Dale Jr. was there racing, he was sort of the face of NASCAR. And Chase, I think, was kind of going into that role, and he kind of fell off a little bit. So they need to kind of find their rivalries and their stars and kind of build on that.
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, and what if you were to guess right now? I'm not talking about the real fans, but if you were to guess right now, the casual person who maybe not even really looking at NASCAR very much, but they know names, who would they know that's racing right now?
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
But I mean, that's actually in the cars. They wouldn't know him. But who in the cars would someone recognize right now that's not a NASCAR fan?
Maybe Jimmy Johnson, because he's still racing.
Yes. They would him. I agree.
Yeah.
I think I gotta be honest with you, as awesome as he's racing, Byron is not known.
He ain't
across the sport, you know, to people out there that NASCAR needs to tap into. I would say that Hamlin is probably fairly well known, but honestly, I don't think he's a superstar seller of things.
He ain't.
He's really good, but he doesn't project as well as other drivers have. Larson, I hate to say it, for as good as he is, I think probably for the reasons he got in trouble is the reason he's more known in the public. I think he's changing that.
He is.
But let's face it, Chastain, you think he's known by anybody?
No, I don't.
Who else was up there? I mean, Keselowski, yes, because he kind of goes back a few years. And of course, Busch, but they've got an image problem. They can fix this, but they've got to do something, I think, better. Right. They've got to present these guys in some ways that is going to get them known out there in the public. And they can get there. Now, it's good. A sellout. The crowd was great. 79,000, I think, in the stands. 16,000 they can get on the infield. So, you know, it's bumping up around 100,000. I bet the ratings were good. I don't know what those ratings number are, but I would say they were probably pretty good. It was a very exciting race. Not a lot. You know, there were some wrecks, but they did a good job of keeping things rolling. I thought they did a good dynamic of showing how the pit stops were being won.
Right.
That did play a part in some of the end results, late stages of the race. That was playing a part. There were gambles that were made by some that didn't pay off.
No, it didn't.
Hamlin being one.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't work out for Hamlin.
That was a mess up.
It was really a two-man show to me. It was William Byron and Hamlin. To me, who was going to win between those two guys? And you know, when Hamlin fell off, it just made an opportunity for somebody else.
The only one that I thought was really, I thought he was getting there was Reddick. He just didn't. He would fade, but he would get up there and be racing really hard, and all of a sudden his car would fade on the longer runs, and he just couldn't. And then it collapsed on him. But Lucifer, was strong for a while.
He was.
I mean, he looked good.
Yeah, he did.
Looked really good.
His engine blew out and he went backward.
Yeah. Had it not been for the engine, he could have had a shot at that race.
He could have.
I thought he might do it. I didn't see Chastain. I knew he was moving up through the field. I didn't think he'd make it. I got to be honest. I thought it was Holsiver.
Yes.
I really thought that guy was going to come up there and take it.
I think he would.
That team is really got it clicking right now.
Yeah,
and doing good. There were some people that disappeared in this race.
Yes.
Bubba Wallace.
Yes.
Bubba Wallace. Of course, due to wrecks and other things, Larson was not really a factor.
He wasn't
in this race. There's Eric Jones. Blaney was I think expected to do a little more in this race. He faded just a little bit. And he didn't make that move.
But Blaney got another DNF Sunday night.
Yeah, and so it's a big race. We knew it was going to be very demanding. You could tell they were really tired. I mean, you could see that. How about this? I was shocked when they talked about. I didn't know Charlotte beat the drivers as much as it did on the bumps. Here
Yes.
the bumps are back.
Yes.
And those images of their heads being bounced off the side of that seat, how can that not be addressed? I understand you're going to have some vibrations and bumps, but these guys, when I don't remember if it was Hamlin or which one of them said that you lose your eyesight at times.
Yeah,
NASCAR has got to address this from a health and safety standpoint.
you're right.
When a driver's telling you that his head's getting hit so hard, I mean, it would sound like something NFL would say.
That's right.
You know, if you've ever been on a rough roller coaster, I mean, it doesn't really compare, but in some ways it does. Because a roller coaster, man, will jerk you around, throw you around if it's real rough. And you can just imagine doing something like that for that long. It would beat you up.
I would say we paved it. We paved the whole track.
Yeah, they were talking about. I think it was Dale Jr. or Gordon One talking about it feeling like railroad tracks.
It was.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that. I mean, we're not talking about some mid-level off the beaten path once every once in a while racetrack. We're talking about Charlotte. Man.
Yes.
We're talking about it's the longest race. It's one of the biggest races outside of Daytona. It may be the biggest race.
It is the biggest and the longest race.
And that's what we're talking about during the race, that the drivers' heads are getting beat in. And they showed it multiple times.
Yes.
Well, you couldn't hardly go in-car camera without the guy's head. Just
That's right.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to be. You want NASCAR. NASCAR can't be wanting that to be the image.
Right.
You want to see the top quarter racing.
Yes.
You want to, you there's things you want to see when you go in car.
But not the head wobbling. You don't want to see that.
Oh my gosh! At least the other track, it was one bump. Here they're talking about up in the third lane that the bumps are really bad.
Right.
Third and fourth lane up there near the wall, that these guys are getting beat to death. And that just amazes me. I didn't know that. That was very shocking to me. And I think that's something NASCAR has to fix. The bump at Texas.
Right.
This track has got to be, and I know it wears into them as they race on these things, but that amazes me. You can't tell me that they ain't making enough money to, I mean, come on, let's put some, I know it's expensive, but let's get our heads together and come up with some solutions.
That's right.
Because if we're going to, what good is it to put all these safety devices in the car and then beat them to death inside the car?
Right. That's right.
Now, one of the things I thought of is maybe that could be more padding there where that blow wouldn't be as hard, because it looks to me that it's pretty stiff. There's no real padding there to soften that blow.
Right.
But they were just bouncing off both sides of the seat through some of that.
It was.
And
I saw that.
I get all the work in the car. I understand it's not a Escalade going down the road. There's going to be a lot of vibration, a lot of beating you around, but I've never seen that like that in my life.
It was the worst track I've seen.
And the drivers were saying that were in the booth, that is it beat. This shocked me. I didn't know this. I really thought it was Darlington, to be honest with you, that this track beats you up more than any track, the way it feels going around. That right there, Archie, is that another Bruton Smith track? I don't know who owns that track.
I think it used to be, but he don't own it no more.
He doesn't own anymore.
No.
He used to own like 5 or 6 of them.
Yes.
Whoever owns that track, that needs to get fixed.
I think I'm correct on this. I might be wrong. I think NASCAR owns it.
Whoever owns it needs to get some paving down, because that was absolutely incredibly bad. So yeah, I cannot understand that whatsoever. Let me pull up a couple things here. We'll just share a screen. I'm not sure why. Everything goes great until you need it, right? That's the way podcasting
Right.
is. But I wanted to see we can at least see these top. Let me share a screen here and see if I can get the right one up there.
I looked it up. Bruton Smith does own Charlotte.
He does own it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Let me find it here. There we go. Share. And we'll get it up there on the screen. It's not real big. I understand that. But Ross Chastain obviously wins. Byron is behind him. And then what about Briscoe coming in
Ah.
third? course,
I was shocked.
Of course, there were some wrecks that happened, and I get that. Let me see if I can blow that up. Something. There we go. Byron Briscoe, the dinger, came in really nice on that one. Keselowski, again, there's a sighting.
Right.
And this guy was really racing hard. He could have won this thing if the other two had faltered,
Exactly.
spun out, anything. He might have been your winner.
Good how. He's coming up.
Your boy Chase.
Yes.
McDowell, another driver.
A shocker.
That was a shocker. Bell in the top 10.
Ryan Preece.
And Noah Gragson. That's not your usual top 10.
No, it ain't.
Be honest.
No, it ain't.
You get down, Barry was making, Stenhouse, 11th. Barry was making moves the whole race. He was running about 14th to 16th for a lot of the race. He survived the wrecks, and he moves up into 12. That's a nice rebound for the Wood Brothers driver.
Right.
Eric Jones, 13. I thought a little disappointing for him.
Yes.
I saw him as a riser. SVG, they talked about him during the race that he's got some road courses. He's a road course guy.
Yes, he is.
And this is not a horrible finish for him. It's top 15, and he'll make up ground when the road courses get in. There's Kyle Busch.
Oh yeah.
I know Mom's listening.
Finish.
She's listening.
Well, and she gave us a like. So Mom's out there. Mom, Kyle Busch, 15th.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Uh-huh.
Denny, of course, he could have won the thing, but
he was trying to.
Logano failure. What has happened to Logano?
I don't know what happened.
Logano that's just not good for him.
No, it ain't.
Gilliland, Dillon, Cole Custer, Busher, Zilich. Not bad for the young boy.
No, it ain't.
Ty Gibbs, Cody Ware, Reddick, horrible. That's horrible
God.
for him. Nemechek, Herbst, Bowman.
What happened to Bowman? He ain't doing nothing.
And this is your fourth Hendrick driver, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be thinking right now. He might be on the hot seat.
He might be now.
Because Hendrick is dominating. Of course, he's had a decent year, not terrible, but that was a bad race for him. Haley, Cindric, another one that not good for him. And then some Hosever, again, 34th. Bubba, 35. God. There's Kyle, 37th. Blaney, 38. Zane Smith. And, of course, Jimmy Johnson. Guys, that was just that was not good.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
That's not good for some of those guys.
No, it wasn't.
We'll pull up. Let me get it up real quick, and we'll pull up and look. And we'll put this back on screen. And there is your leaders in the standings. Byron holds on there. He's number one. Larson slipping. I said it early in the show. I am flipping now. I think that Byron is his consistency. He's won. He's winning stages. I now think he will win the championship.
I got to stay with Hamlin.
And I wouldn't have a problem with that pick either, because Hamlin is showing me something as well. But nothing
I feel like Larson right now.
You're still on Larson?
Yeah, right now.
Right now. Yeah. I just think it's that consistency that he is not finishing lower than third. I mean, my goodness, This guy, he's nailing it, man. I mean, he didn't win. That kid was heartbroken. Oh, my gosh.
He was.
Oh, was he mad?
Yeah.
And he was really mad at Logano.
Yes.
And he was mad at Hamlin.
He should have been.
I get it, because they should have let them the switching lanes really ticked him off, because he didn't know what lane the guy, and it actually caused him to check up on that one.
Right.
Christopher Bell, is he the most the guy, the no name? I know people know him, but honestly, in the top three here, Bell for Joe Gibbs, that's a little bit surprising.
It is me.
Chase is still making moves up, man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's still, I don't think, got it where it needs to be.
He don't.
He's collecting points.
Yeah, he's collecting points.
He is.
And he's being consistent now. Reddick slips a little bit, still top five, and then Hamlin. What's your thoughts on those? We can go, let me go just a little deeper, and there's Bowman. See, right now he's still hanging on that 10 spot.
Yeah.
So he'll get a pass on that. But I think they're looking for more out of him. I think
are.
they've challenged him. Briscoe, Bubba, Stenhouse, and Priest. Your thoughts on those standings? What do y'all think?
Well, as it looks right now, Bale's the best one that Joe Gibbs has got.
Yeah. He's the most consistent out of that team.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's pull it back up, and we're going to look at that is there we go. Let me oh, that's not the right one. Let me reset that.
I think for Chase though, he's going to have to win a race, I believe, to make the chase. I think there'll be more than enough winners to qualify for the chase. But I think Chase will have to find a way to win one or two races.
You're right. You're right.
All right, let's pull this back up. We're getting a little bit of back feed through yours, I think, James, just so you can watch your speaker maybe. There is your power rankings. And Byron up 2 spots, number 1. Larson down 1. Bell actually went down 1. Chase is holding at 4. Hamlin 5. How about Chastain with that win?
That was a shocker.
4 in the power rankings.
Ah.
Logano drops 1. Boy, if you don't get together, you're going to have to drop that forward, man. Come on.
You're right.
Tyler Reddick down 1. Blaney down 1. Briscoe up 1. So, wow. The power rankings. And, James dropped again. He's having some issues. But Mom says, I think that Larson was just not in it.
He wasn't.
He did too much on Sunday. Hamlin Block didn't like him. Absolutely. I get that. James is coming back in. I thank you for saying that, Mom, because I'm going to be honest. I think I get that they want to do this, but I think with what's on the line, Larson didn't need to be at Indy. My opinion, he's racing for a championship.
Right.
I think he needs to focus on his NASCAR and not do this other thing.
I agree.
It's my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree with you. But Larson shouldn't hold his head in shame. He tried both races. He tried and he.
Miss Chickbait from Ohio. Hello. We know you. She's busy watching videos. She'll be right back, but that's our friend Chickbait from Ohio. So, Hendrick's dominating. Let's be honest. Hendrick, Penske slipping a little bit.
They are.
I think Jeff Gordon was up in the booth, and man, that's a guy sitting in a pretty seat right now.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, they signed Byron. They got they do that around. They do that around the Charlotte race a lot. They give the extensions. They give the money and everything. Busch got what 1 year.
1 year. Yeah,
but he's getting older. I mean,
I say, like I was talking to Keno the night. Busch has got 1 more year in his pocket, and that's it.
Yeah, I think it's a safe one. What is, and I don't remember this. I used to know a lot about the salaries. What is each driver? They have a different agreement, right? The split between the owner and or are they on a salary and they get a plus if they off the purse, or how does that work? I haven't looked into contracts in NASCAR in a long time. What do they get as far as that?
The last I heard and I read, the drivers get a salary.
Yeah, I bet they do get additional for
yes.
Like there's $1 million payoff for that championship, right? The top 32.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is after next week's Nashville race. That will be that will be the field be set for 32.
That's right.
So they get them signed. They have an agreement. I mean, none of them's going hungry. I mean,
no, they ain't. No, they ain't.
They're all making a lot of money. There's a lot of money to be had. I think it seems to me that maybe some of the sponsorship is starting to come back to NASCAR.
They are. They are.
It looks like some of the companies are, even with the crazy things going on, it looks like some of the companies are getting back in. And it doesn't seem like to me that there's a shortage. And for a while, some people just couldn't race because they couldn't get a sponsor.
That's right.
These fields are pretty deep.
They are deep.
And the sub series, the Xfinity, the trucks, all that are doing well. So I think NASCAR again. I think they've got to build the brand a little bit with these young drivers.
That's oh yes.
Prime's got to get a little bit better for the races they're doing. I think they did fine on the. I just think this. I like Letarte. I just don't know that this booth is the best. It didn't do horrible, but I don't know. It was a little boring to me at times. I just didn't care. Sometimes I was confused on who was even talking. It just, I don't know. They transition was kind of weird. I don't think they did as good a job in the pits as well as the other broadcast groups do either. They seem to be a little lacking down in the pits sometimes.
Might go give Amazon a chance, to
build it.
Yeah, I think by the fifth race, they should be pretty well, better than the first race, you'd think.
I didn't hear a lot of complaining. I think that they're fine on that. I think that they'll be fine as they go forward with this. So we'll see how they do with the races that they have. But a great weekend, successful weekend. The top doesn't change much.
No, it don't.
But what are your thoughts? And before we do picks for Nashville, what are your thoughts about some of these drivers right now and which stock up, stock down? And you can do your own stock up, stock down. Who do you think's on the rise? Who do you think is on the way down right now for some of the drivers?
I think Byron is coming up. I think he's going to be on his way up.
Okay.
Bale, he's going to stay neutral. Logano, he's going down.
Stock down on Logano. I agree.
That's a couple of races.
Yeah. What about Hocefer? You think does he have what it takes? We know he's got the horsepower. Does he that driver that's going to get in that top 5 and cause some problems?
I think he might try to.
Yeah. Is it just maybe not yet?
No, not yet.
By the end of the season, next year?
Next year, yes. This year, no.
He's got to avoid those DNFs. You can finish good in most of your races, and they kind of cancel out the DNFs, but he's got to avoid those DNFs.
Right.
And that race Sunday wasn't his fault. You can't help it when you blow a motor and all that. But,
right.
I think if he can avoid some DNFs, he'll finish strong, at least in the top 5 or top 10 going into the chase.
Ryan Blaney.
He's going down. Stock down.
He's either finishes strong or has DNF. I mean, he's one of those drivers that he's one or the other.
Yeah, I think Blaney, we kind of anointed him as a riser a little too quickly because of a strong showing. Eric Jones, another one that's been a hot racer kind of coming up through the ranks.
Stock down.
I think that's fair. He could maneuver back into this. Stock ups have got to be Hamlin, Byron. Yes. They have to be.
I say Bowman stock down.
Bowman is definitely a stock down.
Yeah.
Is Keselowski's finish a blip on the radar, or does he follow this up with a good run?
A blip on the radar.
I think so too. He did. He tried to talk tough, but he's not been showing it. What about Bubba Wallace? What is he ever really going to take and run with that? I mean, he has a great team.
Oh, he does have a great team.
He's got one of the best pit crews out there. He has the car.
Yes.
But he just doesn't seem to put it together consistently. Is Bubba maybe potentially in danger of falling out of the top 15?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a possibility.
I think Reddick is a stock up.
Reddick is a stock up. He's had some things happen, but he looks strong. That car looks strong.
Yes.
I'm not even maybe experience is maybe not the word. Maybe it's just not knowing enough about some of the tracks, but he did look very strong. I like him. What about SVG? Could he be a top 10 guy?
No.
After road courses and stuff, you think he could finish top 10?
I want to, in my heart, say yes. I want to say yes, but my head says no.
Yeah, he's not consistently in the top 10.
He ain't.
No. All right, let's look ahead to Nashville. That's a fun racetrack. I like Nashville.
I do too.
So, who do you think? Who's your top 3, and who's a dark horse for Nashville?
James, go ahead.
All right. I'd say Byron, Larson, and Bell would be my top 3 in no particular order. And my dark horse right now is Chase Elliott. You know, I'm waiting for Chase to kind of put it together and get a win, you know. So hopefully he can move up into the top 3 and compete for a championship and compete for a win. You know, I'm waiting for him to do that.
Do you think that he can take that spot, or has somebody got to stumble a little bit for him to actually move into that spot? Because it's pretty tight at the top. Do you have the confidence that he can take it? Could he take number 3 spot? I don't either right now.
No.
I mean, he's good. He's staying right at 4 and 5. He's staying right in there, you know, where he needs to be. But he's got to get that, you know, what they call a signature win for this year. Right. You know, I believe so.
I think you're right, and I don't think he takes it. I think somebody stumbles. He'll stay consistent. He'll move up.
Right.
But they've still got some things they've got to fix with that. Dean, what's your picks for Nashville?
Reddick.
Ooh.
I gotta say Joey and Chase. Dark horse would be Nemechek.
Oh, it is a dark horse. Wow. Wow.
He's going to get one.
Yeah.
Seems like he always gets one.
I think that Larson will rebound. He's not going to win. I have to pick Byron. I just think that.
Yeah.
And they're going to be racing the wheels off that thing. They're mad right now. That stung that team. They dominated this race. Dominated it.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you have got to finish. They're going to be wheels on fire for this next race. I am going to go Larson second. I think he rebounds. He's too good not to. It's just, I mean, these race teams are so very good. But I think right now Byron is the lead dog right now. I'm sorry, Larson, but you're going to have to prove it and take it back. Byron's not given. Larson's going to have to take it, and unless something crazy happens. And I'm going to go Hocefer third. I just think that he's showing some real strength right now.
He is.
And if they can just keep that motor together, I think he's your third. As a dark horse, you know what? I'll say it. Sometimes you ride big off of something like this.
Yes.
I'm going to go Chastain again.
Oh.
Because I'm telling you what, the confidence level of this team right now is in the stratosphere. This team, you could see that all over their faces. He thoroughly enjoyed his watermelon moment.
Oh, he did. He did.
His confidence level, you know, he ain't listening to that any of that mumbo jumbo about cars being in the way or whatever. He'll tell you he come up there and took that thing.
He took it.
He was strong.
Yeah.
I thought he would fade. I really did.
I did too.
It's really tempting for me to put him third, but I'm going to say I don't even know if it's right to call him a dark horse, but I think because some people think he'll fall off after this race, I think he's going to finish strong. But I think Byron gets it done, goes to Nashville, and he'll continue. And it's going to be a 3 to 4 car race, maybe a 5th car right now for the championship, unless something changes. Elliott's in that group. Does Bell hold that spot?
No, Bell's going to drop.
I have a hard time thinking he's the third best. I really do. I nothing against the young man. I just think it's a long season. I think he's not going to fall like way out. I could still see him being top 10. I just don't think he holds that spot.
He won't.
I really believe that, and I think that's going to be how Elliott gets in that top 3. I think that the pressure is going to get to him. I just think that I could be flat wrong, and I'll say it if I am. But I think I think that's what you're doing. Any thoughts about Nashville as a racetrack, Dean?
I like Nashville. I like it.
Anything about it characteristic wise that you can think? I know you'll do your notes next week, but what do you think about? Is there anything that stands out to you right now as we get ready to go off the air?
I can't name anything off the top of my head right now.
Now, Nashville was when did they come back in? When did they come into NASCAR? That track wasn't always there.
No, it's I think it's 3 years old.
Okay, yeah, that. So maybe some people still trying to figure that track out. I'll say this: if you're going to Nashville, good luck. Their interstates are backed up. It's bad.
It's not really in Nashville.
It's outside, but
it's in Lebanon, Tennessee.
You still got to take the same interstates to get there. Well, a lot of your tracks are kind of outside.
But they would have put the Nashville Fairgrounds back in the circuit.
Okay.
That one is in Nashville itself.
Okay. There were no tire issues that I saw in this outside the one motor. Very good. I thought, my opinion, just last thoughts. I got to be honest. I think a couple of drivers, if there were going to be some fist going, I thought it was going to be after this race. I think the drivers, they really held their cool, but there were a couple of drivers that just took people out. They raced bad at times. There were some people doing some maneuvers that were not right. And I'm surprised there may have been, we don't hear about it, but you could tell there was some anger there. Mm-hmm. They were trying to be fair when they showed the replay. Like, oh, I don't really know there, but who was the driver that came up the track and just clipped everybody? That move was bad.
It was bad.
I can't remember who that was.
I don't either.
And he knocked out several drivers.
Yeah, he did.
That was a bad move. There were some bad angles taken by some of the drivers, and just not good. They're going to have to clean that up, or we will see those fisticuffs.
I don't see Kyle Busch doing anything good Sunday.
You just have to go there, right?
Sorry, Mom,
he may need one of those post-race fights to kind of get him going. You know, I mean, it's been quiet.
But Kyle Busch ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna come into the top 15 or 20.
What about the conversation about how he softened a little bit, but he still threw his crew under the bus a little bit?
Yes.
That was talked about by the booth, and how they didn't like that when it happened. But it's kind of like that's been his MO for his whole career.
It has.
But he was dressing them down over the radio.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes, he was.
On the car setup.
Yes.
He was dressing them down. That's why he's hated by some.
Yes.
That's why a lot of people don't like him. They think he's just a jerk. Sorry, Mom. That's what they
really. I agree with you.
And even in the booth, they said that's just something you don't do.
No, you don't. In
the garage, you can have those conversations, but you're throwing those guys on the bus.
Bubba does that from time to time, and he's kind of
he does
away from that a little bit. But it's a team effort. You win as a team, and you lose as a team, and
if
they're not the ones out there driving the car. So
if you down your team, you down everybody. They gotta make you pay for
it.
And Bubba, you're right. Bubba has been bad at that. He has cleaned that up. Unfortunately, his driving is suffering right now. I don't know what's going on with that team. He's still got some experience level stuff that he doesn't understand about. I don't think he understands, some of the. I don't think he understands how to tell them how to do the car.
He don't
on some of that, and I think they're guessing. Some are just better at describing exactly what they're feeling, and I don't think he knows that. And that was, there's been some drivers that's kept them from being superstars because they just couldn't figure out how to tell them to. And you got a crew chief that's kind of, saying, okay, well, tell me what's going on, Todd. Well, what do you mean, Todd? What? I'm sure they're working on trying to get him up to speed on that, but he just seems like the car setups from they've got this great pit crew that gets them out and they fade. Right. And it's got to be car setup because they've got the engines. Yes, I just don't think he has the knowledge level yet. He may get it, but I think that's a problem for him. Miss Mom says, I totally understand with you. He should have kept his thoughts for after the race.
I agree.
Yes. And I know it's frustration.
Right.
I know it's frustration because let's face it, he's he's not really been a story this year, except for how bad he's
Right.
finished. And he's got Dean on him every week. I mean, Dean is dressing him down.
Yeah.
You've got him going to the old folks' home. I mean, the guy's ready to put him in a rocking chair
Yeah.
on the front porch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh,
On the downhill.
but he did get his contract.
Yeah. 1
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
You know,
1 year.
I think he's got a young son in another circuit, so maybe
Yeah.
he's trying to hold out until his son can get into NASCAR and race with his son. You know, but
Braxton
you still
does
have to
good.
be
He
competitive.
does. Braxton is good on the dirt and the go-karts. He does good.
Real quick on the Xfinity, I think there was a car that was disqualified after the race. Was there not from Saturday? I think
Yes.
a post-race inspection. I don't remember what driver that was, but somebody failed the post-race, and they lost their points and everything. Don't remember who that was. I didn't pick up any big news from the truck race, but that was something that I did hear about in some of the news and notes about the weekend.
I'll have it my note next week. I'm not getting out in here. So
So we'll follow that up. Thank you, Dean, for all the notes. That was some great information. He even got down to tell us about orange juice and buttermilk.
yes.
I learned a lot. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did.
That's cool.
I read that last week and it just blew my mind.
Did Ken put his picks in here? I don't.
No, I
Ken's picks.
can't. I don't see them.
Ken, are we going to have picks? Mom, where's your picks? Oh, there we go.
Ah,
He just was waiting. He's laying in the weeds there.
yeah.
All right. Byron, Larson, Elliott. I think that's
There you go.
Good pick.
Well, we're picking the same because that's the way I pick. He's obviously a genius. But I mean, obviously. I mean, he's the smartest guy in the room. Mom, you going to put any picks in?
Yeah, Mom. Well, you waiting on besides Kyle Busch?
Kyle, all right?
Kyle
Hey.
and Kyle.
So you can pick Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch. I can weather a little bit now, so I can say what I want. I can.
Oh, he's getting a little speed. And
Yeah.
he's getting the wheel back underneath him. Oh,
Yeah.
Larson, Bell, and
There you go.
that's cool. I like that. Yeah, very well. Larson could win this race.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Byron running so consistent and hard, I would
Yeah.
have him as the guy right now, the dog. I'm not gonna say I think he could still win the championship, but Byron showed me something. Well, except for finishing the deal. But
If you consistently finish in the top three, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, so
there's nothing wrong with that.
Did you notice after the race, Trace Tank kept calling it the World 600? He said, "I wanted the World 600."
Oh, I didn't notice that he did that.
Yeah, and that is a World 600.
I also got to say, Chastain's not used to winning.
He ain't.
His burnout was kind of weak to me. I thought some other drivers have done better on that. Maybe that's ticky, but I was happy for him. You know, I wanted Byron to win, but Mom says, "What if Dean can say Elliott? I can say Busch."
there you go.
Mom.
Who's going to win first? You know, we'll see.
Again, James gets extra credit for the hat and the banner behind him for Georgia. So a good job. Great NASCAR shirt coming in there. Thanks for everybody being a part. I love this show. I love these races. I've not been this excited about NASCAR in a long time. NASCAR has went through some roller coasters.
Yeah, they have.
And I've not always been happy with some of the things that they've done. And it's really you know what? And let me ask this. Go Dogs. I love it. Let me ask this, and it's okay. We've got another 5 minutes or so. Let me ask this to you just as a closing kind of a question. How long have you been an Elliott fan, by the way?
I was an Elliott fan for about 3 years.
Who was your driver before Elliott?
Casey Kane.
Casey Kane. James, who did you like? I don't even know. Who do you like now? I don't even know who James likes.
Well, I like Elliott and Larson right now. If I have to pick two.
Well, the reason I ask that is sometimes when your driver retires, it can be hard to find a new driver.
It is.
I don't know why that is. I mean, think about all the people that loved Dale Jr. when he hung it up, who do
Yeah.
they go to? It can be hard because you have that attachment to your guy.
Right.
And I think that this identity thing, I think it's caused, and the stuff that NASCAR changed that people didn't like. I think that's part of the problem is that they're going to have to do something to just get these guys more well known.
That's right. I agree.
I mean, when you got kids that are buying Dale Jr. merch
Yeah.
that don't even know anything about NASCAR, that's strong. Those same people ain't buying Byron stuff
No, they ain't.
or some of the others. They just got to get this fixed. It's not going to be an overnight fix.
No.
But I think I like Barry because he's Wood Brothers, but to be honest with you, I don't have a driver right now that I'm really rooting for. I'm just sort of looking at and evaluating. Outside of Barry, I really root for him. I tend to root for the Ford drivers, I won't lie, and they're not showing up and showing out. Mom says once Busch leaves, she thinks she'll go with Chris Bell.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
That's not a bad pick.
It doesn't get a bad pick.
That-
Go, Mom, go.
That's not a bad pick. So, well, 1 year because Busch is gone after a year. He's got 1
Yeah.
year
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
Here's what. Let me give you one more question. Does
Okay.
he ever go in the booth, Busch?
Yes.
I think
I
it would
don't-
be.
They'd have to have one of those delays when he talks.
That would be. That could be interesting if you put a guy
Yes.
like that in the booth.
Yeah.
I'll say he'll go to both. I'll say he will.
I kind of think they might try it to see how it works. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe a lot of them just want to do the car owner thing.
I could see him on the car.
Yeah, I could see that. It would be
So
interesting.
he tried only the trucks. It didn't work. It didn't work out.
Well, can you imagine working for him?
True.
Mm.
True. True.
Let's be honest.
That's right.
That's not an easy job.
No.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to deal with him on sales and stuff? you
Right.
know? And-
Right.
Wow. I mean, he's that old school guy comes in, just dresses everybody down.
Yes.
He doesn't leave anybody off the list. So,
Well, I got one question for y'all.
go ahead.
Y'all think this is a one win only for Chastain? One win only?
No, I think he
I
wins
think he
again.
might get another. Yeah.
I think this is a one win only. Get lucky and pays out.
You know what? If the race had went differently, I would say that. But he come up there and took that.
Yeah.
He took it.
He got
Yeah.
lucky. I'll say he got lucky. You better not never
How
happen
do
again.
you call it lucky?
He raced. He raced.
He
to
come from the back
He
to
did
the
cut-
front.
He did. He
Yeah.
got
Was
he
it
got
started
lucky.
what 32nd or something like that?
Yeah,
40th.
they
40th.
wrecked their car.
Yeah.
His crew had to work through the night. This is a tremendous.
Oh, yeah.
racing
I
story.
agree. I agree.
That was a big
But-
win.
So I don't see it as luck. I'm telling you, their confidence level is off the charts right now.
I saw that, but I say it's a one win only. You know.
Dean is brutal. They're out of here. Huh? Just luck.
Hey, Dan, before we go, I got a joke for you. Okay.
Go for it.
Oh,
Go.
Lord.
What kind of dog loves NASCAR races?
But I don't know.
What do you think, Dave?
A wiener?
No.
I don't have a clue.
A lap dog.
Oh!
James's dad joke of the day. NASCAR dad joke of the day. Not bad. You
Okay,
got
I'll give you that. I'll give you
a
that.
lap dog. That's pretty cool, man. I'm good with it.
I'll be here too. No comment. Oh,
Uh,
Bulldogs. Mom says Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, you know what? I go with that too.
Yeah.
I'll be here too.
They're bullish on the win.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's great. Fist bumps to James out there virtually. Dean, Ken, thanks for being here. Mom, all the other listeners out there, appreciate you. And we're having fun with our racing show, and we'll be with you each week. And so, gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Of course, we got the sports show coming up. I'm not even sure what night are we doing that, James. What night are we doing that this week?
Friday.
Friday night.
War.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just trying to make sure I was because we kind of moved that back and forth with your work schedule. So Friday night 6 p.m. The SFP Sports Show. We got a lot to talk about on the sports show too. I can't wait to get and talk about that. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, the Braves and Phillies have a big series coming up. So
that's right.
Okay, I'm taking notes.
Notes. Yeah, Dean with our Braves notes. They've got to get it done.
It's a must-win series for the Braves right now.
It is. This is the season right now. Acuna's hot.
Yeah, he is.
But somebody else has got to hit with him.
That's right.
I mean, if you hit one home run, that's just one run. You need more. So, but sometimes when you can get one player hot, you can get multiple players hot around them. So hopefully they can get Acuña hot and Olson hot and Riley hot. So hopefully it'll work out for the whole team. And Strider's pitching tonight, so we'll see how Strider can do because Strider's really not back to himself yet. So hopefully he can get back to his old ways.
I heard a rumor that Glavine might into the Braves.
Yeah, there's was talk about that he was going to do that. Some of the other players I think are interested. This has become kind of a common thing that some of your former superstars are now buying into the team.
Yes.
That's been going on for a little bit. Some of the Yankee players have done that.
Right.
And there's
Derek Jeter had bought into the Florida Marlins, so it's
I heard that.
It's a common thing.
It's becoming very common, and it's good. It's good to have a piece, and it also is good for the team to have that selling point.
Right.
So I think that's good. I love Tom Glavine. The only thing about him, he was the union rep for the years that he was with the Braves, most of those years, and he rubbed some people the wrong way as a union rep. I'll just say that. I don't want to besmirch a beloved Brave, but that's a tough role to be in. But he did. He rubbed some people the wrong way with that. I think he challenged some people, and some people didn't like that. They've moved past that now, but he's a great Brave now. And when they all get them together in the booth, it's really cool. Smoke, Glavine, Maddox, and Chipper. You just got to keep him off the bottle. He gets a little tanked up, but
he does.
All right, we'll see you Friday night. I got one more chat. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. Oh my gosh, Cook, go Cowboys! All right, Cook, I got you in there. You got to get yourself back over here in the studio, brother. We got
America's team.
Yeah, America's team. Come on, they're not America's.
In the
90s. In the 90s. All right, folks. Good night. God bless. Find you a good church on Sunday. Salute. Take care.
Odds Lab, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Fried racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Choke. Fast and fierce, racing souls, tearing through the endless cold. Twisting metal, thunder growls, screams of tires, dirt that scowls. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Fried racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream. Gasoline, hearts and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track. Each corner fight, ain't turning back. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Fried racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed, Southern Fried racing breed.